Ladies and gentlemen, we take pride in presenting
In color. My favorite Marshall.
My Favorite Vinyl with Don Tanner.
Yeah, I ended up going to events when he was helping out, doing stuffing envelopes and, that kind of thing.
Right.
And I thought, well, I could do a show here. And so I actually was the one that had a program first. I got started with, went through the training and started Disability Beat, which airs Mondays at 5 o'clock.
Right.
And I've been doing that for about 20 years.
Wow, that's incredible.
And when I retired, I started doing the WEFT Weekender on Friday morning. And I did that by myself because Mark was still working at the time. Several months later, he retired, and I said, you have to join me now.
Come on board.
So
a dynamic duo.
He reluctantly agreed.
Yeah. And some people don't realize that. I mean, there's so many different ways to get involved with WEFT. It's not just necessarily having an air shift. Volunteering. There's so many. I've started in radio here in Champaign, and not to disparage any other stations, but and we tried to be multiple locations. But WEFT is just about everywhere. And we're not paid for anything, and we're not paid to be places. We show up not because there's a sponsorship involved, not because someone's paying for a remote. We just want to be part of the community, and great opportunities to volunteer in those ways.
Yeah, it really is. It's a wonderful place to be involved, and the volunteers here are just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. So the early days of your show. On Fridays, similar type of format. I know you come up now with themes each week typically, and things I would imagine have evolved and changed over 20 years.
Well, we haven't been doing the Friday show for 20 years. That has been, maybe six years.
Whenever you retired.
And the idea of the theme, frankly, is to make it easier on us. It's easy to pick music around a theme rather than just I don't know, what are we going to play this week?
Sure,
because our show is 3 hours long. That's a lot of music.
There's a lot of music. Typically, at least 12 songs an hour.
At least, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about morning shows on WEFT is you get to play a variety of genres, which is where my interests lie. I don't like just one type of music.
Right.
I want to hear all different kinds of things.
Exactly.
And so,
eclectic taste. You let that come out, and that's kind of the beauty of WEFT too. There's so many different types of shows, from world to R&B to rock and roll to you name it. And in the mornings, it's typically a flavoring of what you can hear through the day on WEFT.
Exactly.
Yeah, and our own tastes.
Yes,
as well.
Of course.
Well, let's play one of those songs. So, ladies first on this one.
Okay.
Ask Vicki and Mark to each pick a song. We've got 4 total to play over the next half hour or so. But Indigo Girls, talk about this one a little bit, why it's important to you.
Well, it was really tough to pick 2 songs because, there are 2 of us, so we each got to pick 2. And I don't know that I like his so much, but Indigo Girls, we've seen a number of times. They are just a super talented duo. And
they've been around a while.
Yeah, they have been around a while. And I just really enjoy their music, and we've play them at home all the time, and we've played them on the show a number of times. They're just really, really great.
That's what we're going to play. That's what we're going to start off with. Right. The Indigo Girls, you'll know this one, Closer to Fine, and this is WEFT and My Favorite Vinyl. Listeners supported, volunteer run since 1981. This is WEFT, and need to let you know that support for My Favorite Vinyl is provided in part by CU CD and Vinyl in downtown Urbana, new and used CDs and vinyl, including rare imports and limited releases, SCEYOU CD and Vinyl. They're located behind the Elm City Roastery on Main Street in Urbana, and CU CD and Vinyl on all social platforms. It's 8:10. It's a Monday morning. Thanks for joining us today. And Vicki and Mark Niswander, are with us today in the WEFT studios, our special guests on My Favorite Vinyl. You know them from The Weekender, every Friday from 6 to 9, and also the Disability Beat, Mondays from 5 until 5:30 that, Vicki, that you host.
Yes.
Where are you from, and how'd you meet?
I'm from Michigan originally, and Mark is from Indiana. But I was living in South Haven in an apartment on the beach. I was teaching school there. I was an elementary school music teacher for a few years.
Beautiful area.
It is a gorgeous area. Yeah. And you can tell the rest of that story.
Well, and I got a job up there, and just happened to move into the same apartment building, and we met, and
She had the same group of friends.
Right,
Everybody knew
yeah,
each other.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, well, Saugatuck is one of my
Yes.
favorite places
Yep.
in the world to visit.
just a few minutes north.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What brought you, Mark, from Indiana to Michigan? You heard Vicki was there.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I graduated from college and was looking for a job, and I got a job at at the Palisades nuclear plant in just south of South Haven.
Okay. So you're trained in? Are you an engineer?
I'm not. I'm a like radiation safety person.
Gotcha.
My major in college was physics. So
Gotcha.
What do you do with a bachelor's degree in physics? And this seemed like a good idea.
You took the route you took.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
or you teach or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. I went the whole opposite route. Physics and math. No, that's left
Not so
to
much.
people like you. and so Vicki, you were teaching there.
Yes.
And so so the story from there to coming to Michigan, what brought you here?
Well, after we dated for a few years, Mark took a different job in near Cincinnati at a different power plant.
Okay.
And so it was every other weekend that one of us would make the 7-hour drive from South Haven to Cincinnati. And after about 6 months of that, I said, I'm not going to do that anymore.
It's not sustainable.
Put me
Long
under
distance
pressure
stuff.
then.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And
So I said, he says, well, okay, then let's get married. I said, well, that was romantic.
And let's meet in the middle then, or what?
Yeah, no.
well, no, we ended up moving to Cincinnati, and then that job ended.
Okay.
This was a plant under construction, and then it was 97% completed, and they decided, we're going to convert it from a nuclear plant into a coal plant.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Well, they didn't need.
Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. They didn't need radiation safety people then. So, off we went and ended up getting a job in Connecticut. And
So you've lived some pretty cool places.
We
though.
have,
Cincinnati's a cool town, and
Yeah.
Connecticut's a beautiful place.
it is.
Yeah.
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 Then we lived there for 4 years, and then we ended up coming back to the Midwest because our families were both
That's where
here.
the families
and
were.
we were
Okay.
using our vacation time to come visit family. Well, if we live by them,
Yeah.
then we can go on real vacations.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, let's play another song. We're going to look to Mark for this one. And John Prine. John passed away in the last year
He did.
or so, right?
From COVID.
From COVID,
Yeah,
yes.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I think John Prine is just fantastic. He writes songs about just everyday common things, and he will make you laugh and cry all within the same song. And boy, it was hard to pick just one.
Yeah.
You kind of restricted me there, but this Storm Windows is one of my favorites.
And let's give it a listen here on WEFT. It's John Prine, and you are listening to Community Radio for East Central Illinois, WEFT. I'm Don Tanner. It's 8:20, and the Niswanders are in the studio with us today, Vicki and Mark Niswander. Again, thank you for coming in here. Appreciate it.
Hey, we're
pleasure.
used to coming in early.
That's right.
You're always here, doing something. And we touched on it very briefly at the top of the hour. But you've been involved with WEFT 20 years,
30 years,
shows, 30
maybe.
years, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about some of the roles. I mean, you've done just about everything possible for this radio station.
Well, Mark started, so he
Right.
can go first.
Okay, well, as I said, I got onto the board of directors early on just because I wanted to be able to help out somehow. And at that time, there were some people on the board that moved out of town, and they said, "Well, okay, well, we need a new chairperson." And Mark, you're you seem like you should be the one for that.
Yeah. You'd build some trust, obviously, with the others. And
I guess,
accomplish some things.
and so I served in that role for 7 or 8 years, something like that, until the early 2000s, and then I thought, well, I need to step back and give somebody else an opportunity. There needs to be a different flavor,
Right.
Of leadership here, and so I kind of got off that for a while. And then I don't know when I got back on the board.
I forced him.
I guess
I
you
did.
did. Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, honey.
Yes.
Back on
yes.
the board. When?
Vicki was the chair here some years ago, and we were looking for a treasurer for the board, and I mistakenly told her that, okay, if you can't find somebody to be the treasurer, I'll do it.
She couldn't find anybody.
Yeah, as it turned out, no, she. I think the search sort of stopped at that point.
He was
but-
really, really sorry he had told me that. But it's been fine. And I was chair for a number of years. I couldn't even tell you how many years, but it's a long time.
Long terms or multiple terms? At
Multiple
different times?
terms, I think, is what it ended up to be. But also have been a trainer for new air shifters. So I do that. I have also chaired the Financial Development Committee for a while. So it's a lot to, a lot of volunteer things happen around here, and people need to step up and do it. And it's sometimes challenging to get a lot of folks involved.
I think it's like many organizations, many nonprofits. You have members, and a few people do the bulk of the stuff, and others just for whatever reason don't get as involved as maybe they should or can.
That's right.
And for a number of years, we were without a station manager.
Right.
And so we had no paid staff whatsoever. And it was, it was all volunteers, 100% doing everything. And it was difficult. And fortunately, that situation has been solved now. We're real happy to have Eric as our station manager now.
He's doing a
Absolutely.
fantastic
He
job.
is amazing.
He is amazing, without a doubt. Now, I've been involved for maybe 6 months. It'll be a year coming up in January. I don't know how you did this without a station manager.
Yeah.
He is at everything. The guy works around the clock.
He does.
You guys are part of that category too. I've sat in on a number of board meetings and committee meetings, and there's some very talented, very dedicated people that keep this radio station running.
There are.
But he has turned it around.
He has.
Really.
Yes.
I mean, before Eric started, I think we had 6 rotational underwriters, 6 underwriters that paid enough to have their announcements read every day. Right. And now we've got 19. It's like.
Yeah, you have to. It's boots on the ground. It's a part of community and
He
and
connects
events
to
and-
people, connects to
Absolutely.
the businesses, and it has made a huge difference. And people are more aware of WEFT being here than ever before.
Right, and multiple generations too.
Yep.
Listening parties or just seeking out some of the younger bands that maybe don't think of terrestrial radio. It's great to connect with those individuals as well.
Definitely.
Tracy Chapman. We're
Tracy
going back to
Chapman.
Vicki for a song.
Yeah, Tracy Chapman is one of my favorite artists ever, I think. She, and fairly recently too, her music is very socially conscious. She digs deep into, the way people are treated in this country and the situations that people are in that are so difficult, and writes music that's just amazingly creative in that genre.
Absolutely.
She has. I read something about her the other day that her mother gave her a ukulele when she was 3 years old, and by the time she turned 8, she was playing the guitar and writing music.
And she does it very well.
Yes,
She does.
And this song has had a resurgence in the past year of the country artist whose name escapes me at the moment. But this is Fast Car, Tracy Chapman, and this is WEFT. This is WEFT, and I'm Don Tanner with Vicki and Mark Niswander, and appreciate you guys coming in today and telling us more about yourselves and playing some of your favorite songs. I need to make sure Frank Zappa is ready to go here.
Yeah. Well, we enjoy this, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of fun watching somebody else do all the work.
And push the wrong button.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, mistakes happen. It's volunteer, right?
That's right.
Exactly. But you guys, again, thank you so much. You do so much for the radio station. I think some people know that you are going to be exiting this radio station sometime over the next several weeks, or hopefully,
Probably months,
Hopefully months.
Yeah.
Selfishly.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we are moving to Colorado, Fort Collins, Colorado, actually. And we've 1 week from today we close on a house there, and so as soon as we
Congratulations.
sell our house here, we will make that move.
Yeah.
And we're not moving because of WEFT.
No.
At all.
Right.
We have a
We
daughter.
didn't drive you away.
We
No,
have a
no.
daughter with a disability, and she, her brother and sister live in different areas. Her brother lives up in Chicago, sister lives in Colorado, and long-term planning is that we want her to be set up in her apartment close to her sister.
That's nice.
Before we go. So that is the reason. And they do have a community radio station in Fort Collins.
I'm sure
that
you're eyeing and earing it.
Well, we may do a similar program there someday, and we've even talked to Gina, our programming director, about doing a show remotely and
For WEFT.
for
Right.
WEFT,
That's-
and
so
because as
people
some
do
people
that.
And you wouldn't
yeah.
be the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a possibility too.
Oh, that's
I think
great.
we'd have to get through the move first, but it won't be as much fun doing that as it is, coming in and actually doing things and being a part of the community of WEFT.
Yeah. Well, you guys have been so welcoming to me. You've been so dedicated in your work here at WEFT and what you do in the community. Can't thank you enough. And I'm sure everybody that knows you feels the same. You guys are wonderful.
I don't know, there's people out there, I think they're saying, thank God they're going.
Well, I don't know. WEFT is something we truly believe in. For us, it is like the epitome of free speech.
Yes.
People can come here and play or say anything they want
Within reason.
within a few very small restrictions.
Right.
And that's what I like. I don't like all of the music or the commentary played. That's okay. That's what free speech is.
Absolutely.
So,
And there's never been a time when we need free speech protected.
I'll
absolutely
say
right.
you're
right now.
absolutely right about
This
that.
is the perfect place for that.
Well, thank you both again for all you do and for coming in today. Frank Zappa, the final song from
Yes.
Mark. And I don't listen to Frank Zappa every day, but this is a pretty cool song.
I think so.
And it is called Peaches and Regalia. It goes back to 1969. I'm going to give this a listen. And that is Frank Zappa on WEFT. Again, we thank Vicki and Mark Niswander for coming in today and being our special guests on this program. It's about 23 minutes in front of 9 o'clock. My name is Don Tanner, and you're listening to My Favorite Vinyl. And we're going to go right into the WEFT basement and see what's happening in on this day in history. Going to the WEFT Vinyl Vault. Today is November 3rd. In 1957, the single Great Balls of Fire from The Killer Jerry Lee Lewis hit the record stores, and it went on to sell 5 million copies. Hit number 2 in the U.S. and number 1 in the U.K. 1973 on this date, Hall & Oates released their second studio album, Abandoned Luncheonette, featuring the hit She's Gone. And finally, in 1980, Neil Young put out his Hawks and Doves album, and we're going to play a song off that right now. This is Staying Power.
Cover scientist.
That sounds a lot like Queen, doesn't it? It's a band called the Mommy Heads. I first heard it on one of the Niswander shows, the Friday Weekender show, and I thought, wow, I thought it was Queen. I really did. It's called Woke Up a Scientist from the album Future You. Also, Neil Young in the vinyl vault. There will be a Fight Fascism, Feed People, Stock the Party event for the Uniting Pride Eat Up Food Pantry. It's happening on Saturday, November 15th from 8 a.m. until noon. The location is at Lincoln Square Mall in Urbana inside the south entrance. Accepted donations include shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, mouthwash, body wash, snacks, granola bars, ramen, canned fruit and vegetables, canned chicken, tuna, and also shelf-stable milk. For more information, unitingpride.org/eatup. That's unitingpride.org/eatup. Going to go back to 1993 in a second with Zooropa from U2, also a band called the Corgis, and we'll see what we can fit in the next 15 minutes. I've really gotten into Americana music in my travels, and Katie Pruitt is a wonderful solo artist out of Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to play something brand new from her as well. WEFT weather, we enjoyed really a peach and blueberry sunshine this morning. It was really beautiful, and we're expecting a high today of around 61 with sunny skies, some wind midday, so it may feel a little bit cooler through the day. Monday night clear and a low down to 34 degrees, and then sunshine is on tap again for Tuesday with some clouds here and there, and a high of around 63. 46 degrees right now, and this is WEFT. Such a pretty song from 1980, the Corgis. Everybody's got to learn sometime. It's amazing how music can just take you back somewhere. I remember back then, 1980, I was working at a grocery store just out of high school. Eisner's, if you remember Eisner's there at Kirby and Prospect. And I remember being in the milk case, filling up the milk carton area. And that song was playing on a radio in the background. It's about 8 minutes in front of 9 o'clock on this Monday morning. I'm Don Tanner. You may hear some banging in the background. They're working on Space Next Door. So the riveting and banging, not me banging my head on the console, but we'll see if we can keep that at bay just a little bit. On November 14th through the 16th, it's first annual Midwest Yiddish Fest. This 3-day Yiddish Arts and Cultural Festival will be held at locations across Champaign-Urbana. Live music, cooking, and printmaking workshops, Yiddish 101, children's story time, scholarly lectures, and more. This is an intergenerational, all-ages festival and is open to everyone, including those new to Yiddish and their culture. For more information, cujf.org/Yiddish Fest. Again, that's cujf.org/Yiddish Fest. Support for My Favorite Vinyl is provided in part by CU CD and Vinyl in downtown Urbana. New and used CDs and vinyl, including rare imports and limited releases, SCEYOU CD and Vinyl. They're located behind the Elm City Roastery on Main Street in Urbana, and CU CD and Vinyl on all social platforms. We're going to get to that Katie Pruitt in a minute, and I've been trying to get to the Moody Blues for the past several weeks. John Lodge, of course, passed away, and we're going to get back to something that was recorded in 1966 but was unreleased until a 2014 box set. We're going to play that after Katie Pruitt in just a second, after I tell you that the views and opinions expressed on air are solely those of the speaker and do not necessarily represent those of WEFT Champaign, Prairie Air Incorporated, station management, the board of directors, or the WEFT Associates. Thanks again for listening. It was great to have Vicki and Mark Niswander, Wefties galore in here a little bit earlier for My Favorite Vinyl. And go out and make it a great day. And stay tuned. Monday Morning Jazz is coming up next. I'll talk to you next Monday at 8 a.m. right here on WEFT. Bye.